2 of this morning. Minutes after the hour of 6 o'clock. It was at 12 noon to 2 o'clock this afternoon. And I did an editorial back then in the afternoon. And this evening I decide to do a part 2 after receiving positive response from many of you, the listening public outside there. It sends a message that the people outside there, they are learning and they are listening attentively. I know yesterday when Winston Peters, Gypsy Peters, gyrated, levitated, and oscillated on the microphone, being buttressed and supported by those who only want to hear anything negative against the Prime Minister. But let me tell citizens of the Republic, such was short-lived. It was born yesterday, and sadly, people, the Gypsy momentum died yesterday. Because Gypsy has absolutely nothing to offer to the citizens of this country. This is a man whose only policy, whose main agenda is that Gypsy must come first in everything. And when I mentioned this afternoon that Gypsy behave as if he has the deed for Mayao, the people and the citizens of this country have come to realize that Gypsy have short-lived his little outburst yesterday. You see, when he came to the podium, the media houses run down there, some trip and fell over people because they want to get the news. But today, the Gypsy phenomenon has not caused any great impact. But what it has done have caused members within the PNM party to see the level of dishonesty coming from the bareback leader. And it is on this note I wish to start. I want the bareback leader. Yes, you, Rowley, the bareback leader. The man with the erect nipples. Now you would notice I have not said nipple, but nipples on his chest. The bareback leader. And I want citizens of the Republic to listen. Barry Garcia, Gemini. It was last Friday. I don't know if any of you would recall. It was last Friday. 4 teenage boys. 4 teenage boys rape, gang rape a teenage girl. I only hope the bareback man and the bareback leader listening. Bareback man Rowley. 4 teenage boys rape, gang rape a teenage girl. Now that girl, Barry, was 14 years old. 14 years old. According to the alleged stories, these 4 teenage boys allegedly raped a teenage girl who was standing near the shoreline of Hatter's Panyard. Now you know spot Hatter's Panyard is, Barry?
Yeah.
In South?
Yeah.
And this girl was standing.
That's just next to the road, I'll say.
All right, okay. Yeah. Well, you know down there. And after 6 p.m., when she was attacked, that teenage girl was dragged onto the beach. And the teenagers took turn in raping the girl. The 4 teenage boys took turn in raping that teenage girl. Yes, bareback, Rowley. The girl then made a report to the San Fernando police station. She was taken to the San Fernando General Hospital where she was medically examined. It was confirmed that she had been sexually assaulted, Barry. That teenage girl was sexually assaulted. I want the bareback leader to hear it. Yes, you, Rowley. I want you to hear it. And I have reason why I want you to hear it. And I will tell you why I want you to hear it. Barry, Gemini, and citizens of the Republic. This thing happened last Friday. 60 years, or let's say 40 years from now, or 50 years from now, or 60 years from now, one of those teenage boys have ambition to become the country's next prime minister. One of the boys who gang rape, sexually assaulted that teenage girl who is scarred for life. Because there's no way she can remove that damage. That teenage girl is scarred for life. 4 teenage boys who gang rape a 14-year-old girl. And I'm speaking about 40 years from now, or 50 years from now, or 60 years from now, one of those guys, one of those teenagers that gang raped the school girl or the teenage girl wish to become the country's next prime minister. The schoolgirl who is scarred for life. I want you, bareback Rowley, to answer this simple question. Should we, the citizens, vote for any of those teenage boys that have been alleged to have raped the 14-year-old schoolgirl? If any one of those boys show no remorse but wish to become the country's next prime minister, I want bareback Rowley to tell us whether the citizens of this country should vote for either of them if they are found guilty of raping that teenage girl. Now, in the bareback man's case, Rowley's case, let me discuss a history of Rowley's case. In 1981, the bareback man offered himself up as a candidate for Tobago West. At that time, he had a son called Gat Allen. Only the people in Tobago knew that Rowley had a son called Gat Allen. Am I lying on you, Rowley? Yes, I'm talking about the bareback leader. You, bareback leader, you also had sex with a teenage girl. Strange enough, you was not a teenage boy. You was an adult. You already passed the age of 18 years. You was an adult. And you, Rowley, bareback Rowley, bareback leader, you also had sex with a teenage girl. You had sexual intercourse with a teenage girl. And Franklin Khan, Christine Kangaloo, they mount platform after platform and they talk about the history of Rowley, his academic background. But on that platform, the same Rowley, the same bareback leader who boasts and tell people that his life is an open book. They don't tell you about Garth Allen. They don't give you the background that this same man who wants to be our next prime minister had sex with a teenage girl. Now what I have drawn here is to try to show people the level of hypocrisy. Barry, Gemini, I am absolutely sure that those 4 guys who gang rape that teenage girl would be condemned for their actions. And I'm absolutely sure they would be charged for the alleged crime.
They have been. They are before the. They are presently before the court.
Yes. Now, they call on radio stations. They make pronouncements on radio station. But when it comes to the issue of this leader, this bareback leader, who had sexual intercourse with a teenager, a teenage girl, how in God's mind, on God's earth, can we say to give Rowley a chance to be our prime minister? I mean to say, Barry, how can we condone? No, I mean to say, we need to know whether the bareback man had shown any remorse over the years.
What remorse he could show over the years, and he have even acknowledged God as
that what he did to a teenage girl, being an elder man, an older man, the act of having sex with a teenage girl, did he show any remorse? Has he shown any remorse, Barry?
No, Cardo, because to date he has not come out publicly and said Garth Allen is my son.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'm wondering if Kamil is the mother and Faris Alari is the father of Garth Allen, because they are the only 2 that came out and tell you about Dr. Rowley have a son.
And the thing about it is that to this day, wait. Just now, I do not think that they have amended or altered the brief bio of Dr. Kid Rowley, the bareback leader, on the internet.
No, they have not.
They have not included Garth Allen at all.
That is why I asked the question, Ricardo. Do you have other children beside your 2 daughters?
Yeah.
And if so, you need to tell the public, because you said that your life is an open book. As you also stated that when you come into the political arena, you must come with clean hands, and once you're in your political arena, you're entitled to be questioned by any citizen of the country, because you are managing their affairs.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Rowley, what I need to know from you is, do you or have any other children besides your 2 daughters?
In a nutshell, all is still waiting to get that answer. All you could plead, come and just say it over and over. The man is not going to come out and say anything. And that's it then.
So then he's a consummate liar then?
Well, it would have to be that way.
Well, I say because I have plenty of evidence that the man have lied on many occasions. Understand? But let me read this part here. Let me read a quotation from Rowley. Rowley stated, "It is quite possible when you're in public life that people will make allegations against you. Some allegations are serious, some are trivial, and some can be dismissed out of hand immediately because they are so outlandish and outrageous, and others require either an investigation, but they are all require a response from the public officer who the allegation is made, Barry. To this day, this man who aspires to be the country's next prime minister,
This bareback man.
the bareback leader, who aspires to be the country's next prime minister, who claimed that his life is an open book. For some reason, he disclosed the book when it comes to him having sex with a teenage girl. Why it is he does not want to? I mean, but by the way, you watch the interview with him and Julian Rogers?
No.
Well, I saw just piece of it.
Yeah?
I just saw piece of it. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing, but when I go home tonight.
Because I didn't see it up to now. And I'm wondering if anybody saw it. If they could enlighten the Gladiator as to whether Julian Rogers posed a question to him about his sexual relationship with a teenage girl. Otherwise, that interview was stage managed.
No, they wouldn't ask that. I doubt that.
Yeah?
It was stage man because they say it happened 4 months ago.
I sure 100% he ain't
Julian
going
Rogers is stating that the interview took place 4 months ago.
What, that interview there?
But by the way, but by the way,
And it was to show a different side, the different side of Keith Rowley.
but by the way, how much money did they pay Julian Rogers?
To do that interview?
Yeah, I wonder how much. Because, you know, they make a big
issue
hullabaloo about
with
Aisha Welch collecting $10,000.
So we want to know now how much he collect.
How much money he collect?
Well, I know they pay.
Because, you know, they have eyes for when it's poor people. Understand? Anybody from behind the bridge.
I know they bring a man and pay him 50,000 US to cost the PNM.
Yeah.
To say that in the last...
To cost the PNM? No, to cost the Prime Minister.
No, it cost the PNM. They're so damn stupid. The man said for the last 20 years, right, business have been closing down by the... people have been losing job by the thousands. And out of the last 20 years, okay, business has been closing by the 100. People living in poverty, nation warring against, region warring against region. The last 20 years,
Not informed.
Right? Last 20 years. But for the last 15 out of the 20, it was PNM in government, so it's PNM costing and blaming for what going on. They're so damn stupid, they even understand that the man insulted them, and everybody, yay!
Yeah, and everybody jump up.
And them.
Now, the question I want to pose to the listening public outside there. Now, I read about the 4 boys or the 4 teenage boys who allegedly gang rape a teenage girl. And the question we are posing to them, if 60, 50 years down the road, one of those guys want to be the Prime Minister of this country, and they have shown no remorse, they have asked for no forgiveness, nothing whatsoever, Barry, should we endorse that person? Should we vote for that person to be the country's next Prime Minister?
My answer on that, no.
Open up the lines.
Right? So the lines are open. 6229154.
628-1158.
1158. That's the question we are posing.
718-874-3860.
Good evening, caller.
Good evening, Gladys.
Good evening to you.
Gladys, but then the woman said she was not raped, Gladys.
I'm speak warrior. Last warrior last week Friday warrior.
I'm familiar with the story, Gladys,
Right.
where they raped the girl, the guys.
The school girl, and the question warrior. If one of those guys who allegedly gang raped the school girl, 60 years down the road, wants to be the country's Prime Minister, and they have shown no remorse, should we allow that person to become the country's next Prime Minister?
But definitely not, Gladys. You know that.
Thank you, warrior. And that's what we want to know. We want to find out from the public. Good evening, caller. Good evening.
Gladys,
Yes, good evening.
I mean, look where you going.
Look, good evening, caller.
You're sure.
Good evening, caller.
Gladys.
Yeah. That's what we want to know. whether you will condone it, whether the people will condone it.
God, just to remind you,
Because this girl is scarred for life. Barry, the girl is scarred for life. Good evening, caller.
You see, people not understanding that you are drawing the analogy and the parallel, doing a comparative analysis is because
the point, Barry,
the point you're making is that the point is that you want to let them know that when you come into the political arena, come with clean hands.
And the point I'm making is that we do not know whether Rowley, the bareback leader, have shown any remorse for having sex with a teenage girl.
Well, how could you say that?
We do not know.
But you have never shown it, Gladdy.
To this day, we do not know.
To this day, Gladiator, and to the wider public of Trinidad and Tobago, the man has not even come forward and acknowledged Gat Allen as his son.
And that's why we have to go to the public. Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller. Not there. Good evening, caller.
Where am I?
Good evening, caller.
Good evening.
Good evening, caller.
You're eating.
No, I find us cut them off too quick. I want them to continue to make an ass of themselves.
No, Barry. No, Barry. We are engaging in a construct because what they are saying, it is right.
They accepted it, you know.
It is right for
by their
people.
Yes, by their behaviors, they accept it.
It is right for
unlawfulness.
It is right for people to gang rape school girls. It is right. It is right to impregnate them, scar them for life. Understand? But the public must know that the bareback leader had sex with a teenage girl.
And you feel them care about it? Them like it just so? Them like it just so? Them don't want to changes?
Well, I am going to expose it. Good evening, caller.
Good evening,
Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller.
Good evening. No, we will not. And I want to tell you something, Gladiator Barry. You know what's similar to the Tobago story? That was, hello?
Yes, we listen to you.
That was for members, that the young boys who gang raped. But the story in Tobago, it was the same amount of person who was supposed to have this
Sampat
with the lady in Charlotte, but she didn't know.
Thank you. Good evening, caller. Good evening. Good evening, caller.
Good evening, Gladiator and the panel.
Yeah, good evening.
Absolutely not. Right? They must ask for forgiveness first, and then we will forgive them. And at least they should ask the victim for forgiveness.
And that is the whole thing about it.
Simple
Look how simple that is.
Simple answer.
That's right.
Look how simple that is.
Answer.
Good evening, caller.
Good afternoon, Gladiator.
Good evening.
We should look up all our little girls from Canada.
Good evening, caller.
Yeah, hi, Gladiator. How are you good? I don't think that we can compare the two instances because...
No, I mean to say...
The question fly over his head, so like you need to ask him
Why you can't compare it?
No, well, the question flew over his head. He didn't understand the question.
He missed it.
He missed part of it. He put on the radio late.
You see, the whole thing about it is whether we like it or not, jump high, jump low, we have to face the reality. You watch this man on a platform. You stare him down, you watch him. And this man, he sweats on a platform. He condemns, he levy allegations upon allegation against people. But this man has a dark past.
Extremely dark past.
And Dr. Rowley, or the bareback leader, he cannot sue anybody for it. Because it is a fact. It is gospel truth. Rowley had sex with a teenage girl. We want to know whether he had any remorse in having sex with a teenage girl, impregnate a teenage girl. Now, Barry, we don't know if this girl is going to be pregnant down the road. We don't know. This girl who was gang raped last week Friday. But let's clear the lines here. Good evening, caller.
Good evening, Barry. Good evening, Gladiator.
Yes.
The thing is about this is the perpetrators of the crime will never be able to run for government any kind of office after the second term of the Honorable Prime Minister.
Thank you. In America, a thing like that, you think if Barack Obama
Had a dark past, he could have run for president.
had sex with a teenage girl, could have offered himself to run for office? I mean, it's in America, there's a term what they call sex offenders, Barry. I do not know if you all know about it.
Yeah.
Every sex offender that had sex with an underage child in America cannot hold public office at all.
No time, no day.
They cannot hold public office, Barry. Whether we like it or not. They cannot hold public office. Barack Obama, if he had sex with a teenage girl,
Being an adult,
he
he could not have held public
he
office.
could not have offered himself for public office. And we have to expose it. Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller.
Yes, Mr. Gladiator. With all these bathrooms that hanging over the opposition leader head, we don't want this kind of bathroom as a prime minister in this country. So that is why Ms. Kamala Persad will be the next prime minister of this country in 2015, and she's going to win.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller.
They voted.
Good evening, caller.
Good evening, Gladiator.
Good evening.
Gladiator, here it is. I would like you, Miss.
Good evening, caller.
Ready, ma?
I sure all like how I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I sure you like how I'm doing
and
it.
once I get to recognize the truth hurts. The truth hurts.
Not the truth hurts, you know. Dr. Rowley does not want to be scrutinized.
He doesn't want to be scrutinized, but
And he wants to go on a platform and bring and say anything about anybody.
But
And
the
nobody
man-
mustn't say nothing about it.
but the man is lying to the public and saying that his life is an open book.
Well,
And I'm taking him to task for that.
we're not seeing that.
Yeah, but
we're not seeing that at all.
it is an open book with some missing pages.
I'm gonna say-
somebody tear it out.
Some pages missing.
Barry, we are look. I have the papers here.
In black and white.
Yes, girl rape, 4 boys arrested. Look at it in the papers here.
Yeah.
What did you see on that papers here? Is it the Express?
Let me see.
What did you see on that paper? Because did they say Gladiator line?
24th of August 2015.
You sure you seen that?
Positively.
And you see,
And this was Monday.
And you think about it, Barry. Every living day, they call on radio and they say, "Let us pray.
Let us pray.
Let us pray."
Let us pray.
Yeah.
Mr. Costa
And,
Rica,
yes.
friends.
And they want to pray for a bareback leader who we do not know if he showed any remorse for having sex with a teenage girl. And he is not married to Rosalind Allen at all. He's not.
But he have not even, and what is even worse, Gladiator, to date, Dr. Rowley has not publicly acknowledged Garth Allen as his son.
No,
Let's go to the lines here.
He wouldn't do that at all.
Good evening, caller. 10 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. And we go back to the lines. And all what we are asking, Barry, the reality is, Barry, we are not libeling the bareback leader. We are not slandering the bareback leader.
No.
The bareback leader had sex with a teenage girl by the name of Rosalind Allen when she was a teenage girl.
And not only that, he was a teacher at this very said school.
Well, I don't know if he was still a teacher.
And it is alleged that he was the dean of discipline.
Yeah, right, but I don't know if he was still a teacher when he had sex with a teenage girl.
Then why?
And what I'm saying, Barry, this girl last week Friday is the daughter of someone. The girl was gang raped.
Yeah.
She is the daughter of a mommy and a daddy.
But
And
strange.
4 boys, they drag her. I mean, try to understand that.
But strange enough, how come the Women's League has never made any press release or even stand up and speak out against violence against young girls and little boys? How come the Women's League are so silent on these matters?
Them don't have time for that.
How come the Women's League and the People's National Movement has never come out and support any movement against violence against women in this country under this present leadership? Is it that is a new PNM that we are seeing? Is it that is a norm and is an acceptable fact to be abusive to women in this country? Is that what the PNM is setting? The PNM is setting for this country?
You have to remember also, Barry, we're always a kind of thin-skinned kind of person, you know.
Well, then you're in the wrong job, Gladiator.
And to border...
I ain't taking that. If you're thin-skinned, you're in the wrong job, resign and go.
Right.
You have to be brought back. You have to be brought back, and you must have skin tough as a crocodile to be in this job, because politics is not for the weak or the faint-hearted, and you must never take anything personal when you are under scrutiny. And once you're in the political arena, you got to come with clean hands.
Because, Barry, what we do, and callers, we coming to you just now because all the lines are later. Barry, what we do know...
Vladimir, if we should take no more call, I find them people too disrespectful. You know?
No, but you remember it have other people who wants to make a contribution.
Yeah, but I think I think they're doing a disservice to this station, especially they're doing a disservice to Iowa, who is a prominent big black businessman.
Is the PNM people doing that?
Is the PNM people doing that?
Yes.
Well, then there is more reason for me to tell them don't vote PNM in this election. Because if that is all your conduct while all you're in opposition, cussing people
you
for...
see,
nothing constructive, nothing at all.
They don't want to know the truth about their leader. Good evening, caller.
Hi, good day, Glady. Good day, Barry. Good day, everyone in the studio.
Hey, good day.
I'm not like one of those people who call it and carry on in a terrible manner, Glady. We see what Dr. Rowley needs to understand. Whatever you do in the dark, just come to the light. You know, and this is what people, especially young people, need to know. Whatever you do now, to come back to bite you 10, 20, 15 years down the road. Right? So I think nowhere in the world this type of behavior would have been accepted. Only in Trinidad. And you have a set of, I don't know what to call them, calling the radio station and getting on, like, you know, this man was sent from heaven.
Yeah.
He was not.
You see, they don't want the public to know that this man
they don't want the public to know.
who does talk rough on a platform, watching them on TV, they know.
Yeah.
Understand? That man
He
had...
nobody asking no question.
Yeah.
He was the right on one question for Julian Rogers. Ask me this, nothing else.
But you know, family, I want to know how much money they pay Julian Rogers,
That's the next thing. And they make a big fuss. But I shall get $10,000.
Yes.
10,000 she never received yet, eh? Yes, she yet to get it.
Find out too much, you know why? I shall black.
Yes.
So she 10,000 is too much for she.
Money must be on.
Thank you, caller.
Yeah, only Andrew Gabriel and them must get money.
Yeah. So the young lady who have bills and things to pay, she mustn't get no money at all.
And you must lie down and beg for a plate of food and smell like a pig.
Good evening, caller.
Good evening, Gladiator and the panel.
Bellman, the question is, those guys, and you read, well, you a man would read the papers. Last week Friday, 4 teenage boys drag a teenage girl, drag her to the beach. Oh my God! And they gang rape her one after the next. And all I'm simply asking, if 40, 50, 60 years down the road, one of those same young boys who gang raped the girl wants to be our country's next prime minister, but have shown no remorse for the act that they have committed because that girl is scarred for the entire life. Should we allow that person to be our country's next prime minister? That's all I'm asking.
Gladiator, hear me. Whether they show remorse or not, I say no. And I'm going to tell you why.
You go ahead, you tell us.
50 years from now, check that same lady who was, because she wouldn't be a girl anymore.
Yeah, she wouldn't be a girl.
Check that same lady and see her condition. If she's not there, check her brother or sister or children.
Yes.
And you will know the results of what that was done. So that whether they show remorse or not, people must know there's a consequence for it, whatever they do. I say no.
Thank you. And you know, Barry, whenever the village hear that he was gang rape, everybody in the village who are perverts, who are perverts, they want a piece of your flesh, you know. They want a pound of your flesh.
Oh my gosh.
And your name all by the parlor.
All in the toilets.
All by the standpipe.
All in the toilets, in the washrooms.
And your name mark up all inside the school toilet. Yeah. And you know what is so nasty? You have some washerwoman, they by the standpipe pulling a bucket of water, and they talking, and as the girl pass with she bucket, they say, "Oh God, look she coming. Oh, hush, Susie, hush him out, Susie. Shh, God, hush him out." And when the girl reach, hey, Mary, you up there? How you going? You know, we missing you. Nice. Yeah. So what about them dirty fellas and them? They still in jail, and you telling them all your problem.
Yeah.
And the moment you full your bucket and you're gone.
And you're gone. All hell break loose.
No cheat at all.
She went there and take she man for herself.
I hear showing mash up to last week.
Yeah, she went and take the man for herself, and then and because the father them get to find out, she crying rape. She's a nasty little slut.
Yeah, a nasty.
Nasty. She stink with herself.
And she dirty and nasty. She stink.
More hot than sweet.
And nobody want to marry at all.
Yeah, more hot than sweet. Yeah.
Let me go back to the lines here. There are so many people trying to get in here. Good evening, caller.
After Gladiator, Barry Garcia and Genesis.
Hey, Wapton report.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, gentlemen, good night.
Yes.
No, I mean, I listen to all here, and it for me, I'm a young man. There's my son here again.
Yes,
I'm 9 years old, right? And I'm married and I have 2 young kids, an 11-year-old and a 4-year-old daughter. And, you know, listen to all here and hearing this thing about rape and thing, and it's frightening for me as a parent. It's real frightening. And to hear the man who wants to be the prime minister to represent, if you become prime minister, to be represented, trying to be on the international scale.
Yes.
To hear your name called an allegation that you had sex with somebody under the age when
a
you were
teenager
in the days, right? And you never come out to clear your name, as I would put it. You send Forrest and Camille Robinson ready to talk on their behalf. I mean, if something like this were to happen to me, I would want to come and face the people and let them know whether if I did something like that, I let people know, look, I was young, I make
a mistake.
Yes.
Yeah. I ask for forgiveness.
Pull up to my situation.
Because what I mean, because Carnage, he was not a teenage boy, you know.
He was a grown man.
He was a grown man.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's a sad thing, and this man want to be prime minister, but this man has no shame, you know. And watching him on the news tonight, he want to apologize to the people at Diego Martin West. Understand? This man has no shame, boy. Since 24 years, a whole 24 years, you have done absolutely nothing. Canada is one way in, one way out. The road is the worst. Anything break down from the yacht club, go right down into Canada. It's traffic coming in and out. You have done absolutely nothing to address the situation. But yet, I want to talk to people. You apologize. Santi Rowley, you have no shame. You have no shame. But I ain't lying, but like I always say, gentlemen, all it doesn't know, you know. All it doesn't know how it has hurt to see I'm a black man and to see a black man who wants to be prime minister. That where politics is concerned, they ain't doing nothing. All of a sudden, it's to make the finances of the party be filthy rich. And tell me, gentlemen, I tell people straight out, the man is an Oreo. Some other people, the man is an Ore. And all you know what Ore is, right?
Yeah, a biscuit that black outside and white inside.
Right. That in my book, that the gentleman is. And it's a disgrace. Up to now, we still never come and face Santiago and let me know what is the situation putting in.
At least come on the platform and have, you know, in your heated moment, you say, citizens of TNT, I want to humbly apologize for something I did in my past.
Wait.
And I
you know what that shows?
What type of
humility?
Yes,
that is a humble individual.
Yes.
And that is a remorseful guy.
Yes.
The citizens will more gravitate to you, seeing that you have that humble way about you.
If you're old enough, and then to come and Nika comes down, you want to talk about, do you want me to be the bodyguard outside your bedroom? The man is sick.
Thank you, caller. He doesn't want to be the bodyguard next to the foul club.
No.
He don't want to be the bodyguard next to the car. He don't want to be no bodyguard by the gate. He don't want to be no bodyguard nowhere else, but the only place he want to be
by
bodyguard
the bedroom.
By the bedroom.
Would you like me to be a bodyguard? Would you pay me to be a bodyguard?
Yeah. I mean, say Barry, what is so questionable? You are bareback. Your nipples standing erect. Yes, erect. Your nipples standing erect. Naked.
With a serious face too.
Yes. And you what? I mean, the woman feeling uncomfortable. And I say this, you know, I'm Barry and Gemini. Could you imagine a male investigative reporter going to the residence of the Prime Minister? And he tell the security, I come to interview the Prime Minister. And as the Prime Minister come outside, because she half naked, she only have on a bra. And you know, come inside. Climb all inside. All in the kitchen. And she wear that bra. Stay half naked from the start to the end.
Boy, you wouldn't hear the end of that.
Coming in and going out.
You wouldn't hear the end of that. Oh, she stink. Oh, she that. Oh, she stink.
Yes.
But this big bareback man.
Yes.
This big grandfather.
Yes.
You call
no, Barry. The man is hard back.
Oh my God.
Muscular.
Six pack?
Yeah. 6 pack.
Macho man.
Yeah. And Osha, the nipples stand up erect.
Gonna joke out your eye.
And staring down in the face of Anika Gums.
Would you pay me to be a bodyguard outside the bedroom?
You bareback from the start to the end. And this is your legacy to become the next Prime Minister of this country? Look, let me go and clear these lines here. Good evening, caller.
Good evening, guys. The first time caller.
Yes.
Gladiator, I am 30 years of age. And I am listening to the station a little while now. And first time I have seen black man pulling on black man.
Yeah.
And so
black man pulling on black man.
In 2009.
No, all because we speaking the truth.
Yeah, in 2009.
So we must come here and spread propaganda.
Yeah.
We're not lying on Rowley at all.
No.
All because we are speaking the truth.
But who Manning was when he put him down?
Wait, wait now.
Who Manning was when he put him down?
So you don't know nothing about that?
It is okay.
So he spent 30 years outside, he now coming straight out.
He now coming.
Set up political goal to be calling this radio.
Barry, it is okay for a black leader to invite a black woman, a black queen of the Nile, and to embarrass that woman, put her in a compromising position, stay bareback, make suggestive statement, and we must say, congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
We must say that.
Yeah.
Understand? And we go say, oh God, Gladiator, Barry, Gemini. Oh God, we like all the praise in the black man.
Yeah.
And there's a problem, you know. And we don't have black conscious people to speak to black people and tell them what you're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
Not because you're an African leader, you must abuse your powers.
So whatever you do wrong, you must straight behind your back and move forward.
So therefore, if we condoning
Yes.
what Dr. Rowley is doing because
Yes.
he's a black man,
Yeah, he's a black
then
man.
we should have no problem with what the Indian doing.
we must
should have no problem with what the Syrian doing to us.
Yes.
Right? We mustn't complain about small wages. We mustn't complain that they have we working as maid and you had boys in the place. We must just take that. Because you know why? We accepting the fact that it is okay to disrespect another black woman.
Because, I mean, Rowley disrespect the woman. No, Anika Gums is not Rosalind Allen.
No.
Rosalind
He's
Allen.
not Sharon Rowley.
Rosalind Allen hold back a lot of information, but Anika Gums, she came to the public and she tell the public how she felt in front of Rowley, who was bareback. I mean, you are an African leader, and you have people talking about African consciousness. You know, I just listen to some frauds who just call on the radio station. They call David Mohammed program. They call all kind of African program, and they talk, black conscious talk.
And they ain't living
But
up to
here it is. You have a black leader who embarrassed
A black woman.
disrespected a black woman.
to the highest order.
The bareback leader, yes, Rowley, yes, you disrespected a black woman. No, I mean to say, had the bareback leader told Anika Gums, come to my residence, but let me tell you something. When you come, I'm going to be bareback because my wife's not home at all. You think Rosalind Allen would have gone down there?
No, I mean, Anika
She would have
Gums.
made, I said Rosalind, Anika Gums. You think she would have gone down there? She now had a day of terror. And there's not an African leader in this country right now. You have so many African organizations in this country, and there's not an African leader that have come out in support of this girl. And we are the only ones on national radio that have come forward, because you know why? We don't give a damn of what these fanatic and sycophants who want us to brush it beneath the carpet, because they don't want Rowley to be exposed as a man who had sex with a teenage girl and who has a weakness. Because people, this is not something that is hard maths, that you have to be a rocket scientist to rationalize and understand the intention of the bareback leader. The girl was at the St. Joseph Police Station, Gemini and Barry Garcia. The day before, she received 11 prank calls.
Which is very disturbing.
This black woman, this black queen, this black Nefertiti, this black Cleopatra, this African queen was summoned to the home, the residence of an African leader. And all because he's the leader of the PNM party, we must sit by and tolerate the behavior of the bareback leader?
Not accepted.
I mean, I said, this man is a married man, you know.
With children.
Rowley is a
And
married
grandchildren.
man. He have daughters. He have children. Barry, Gemini, how would he be, please, if one of his daughters was invited by a government minister to his residence? Yes, let me start it.
For my part, he coming out on the platform and talk about it one time.
If his daughter was invited to the residence of a PPP government minister, and one of his daughter reached to the residence, if there's any security, they will go and tell the minister, Rowley daughter is here. And when she entered the compound at the minister residence, because the minister in a jaws and bareback, and that minister stay in that jaws, in that boxer short or whatever underpants for hours upon hours, making all kind of suggestive statement with an erect nipples. I ain't saying nipple, no, but nipples. The nipples stand up erect.
My God.
How do you expect Rowley's daughter to feel about that? and then you're dribbling the nipples, dribble it. All this
Jiggle it.
Oh, it's I thought it was dribble.
Yeah, jiggle it.
All right. Let me see if I'm going right. Jiggle it. No more tell. I mean, I said, jiggle it. But the people don't want to hear the truth. Not the people, the PNM mob. They don't want to hear the truth. But we are not telling.
That is why they just be that is why they just be calling Iowa to tell them get rid of the program.
We're not doing anything wrong at all.
That is why, because I hear yesterday when we finished with Marlene was calling Iowa to tell Iowa about
for what?
About to stop me, like if we was lying on she, I have
the judgment,
It was also told to me that Dr. Rowley is be calling Iowa and harassing him, I want to know if you's really a radio bully. Yes, you Kit Rowley. I hear you'll be doing that. I hear Ashton Ford call too. I hear Ashton Ford call too.
We have some bills.
Recorded by many. Jiggle it. Find on your body, girl, jiggle it. Show me your body, girl, jiggle it. Find on your body, girl, jiggle it. Me enticed by the way how you're moving. Your pretty wine make me feel like intruding. In it to me, don't even think about losing. Come over here, I got some points to be proving. Bring it on, let me get my point of view. Got some nice things that I want to tell you. The itches raise up and it's standing true. Wine so much, let me tell you what me do. I just jiggle it. Find out your body, yeah, jiggle it.
21 minutes. Going up to the hour of 8 o'clock. Wait. That is the song?
Yeah, jiggle it.
That is the song?
That is it.
All right, let me see how Rowley is going to jiggle the nipples. Let's hear this. Let's hear it from the sun. This song going out to the bareback leader.
Recorded by many. Jiggle it. Find on your body, girl, jiggle it. Show me your body, girl, jiggle it. Find on your body, girl, jiggle it. Me enticed by the way how you're moving. Your pretty wine make me feel like intruding. In it to me, don't even think about losing. Come over here, I got some points to be proving. Bring it on, let me get my point of view. Got some nice things that I want to tell you. The itches raise up and it's standing true. Wine so much, let me tell you what me do. I just jiggle it.
And that's what he's doing. Jiggling his nipples, the bareback leader. Bareback Rowley. Jiggle your nipples.
Jiggle like jello. Let me take care of you cause I'm a good fellow. Baby, how you whining, keeping it mellow. Look nice in your white but better in yellow. Me is a Virgo and you is a Libra. I'm an lion, I will never be a cheater. Fly through the sky without passport and visa. In your short skirt like Serena. Just jiggle it. Find on your body.
Alright, okay, Rowley. That is enough for you. I don't want you to get too heated with this thing, That song is to jiggle the nipples. Yes. So let's head back to the lines. You hear that song by Barry? Yeah, jiggle it. Yes. And the numbers are 622-9154
and 628-1158.
Yeah. And the US of A number 718-874-3860. I mean to say, Barry, we didn't cause this to happen at all. Good evening, caller.
Hello, good evening, Gladiator.
Good evening to you.
Why you say no is a significant factor is how this Anika Gumspell trap. Dr. Rowley calls she.
Yes.
He goes down there. It was a form of entrapment. The security was waiting for she and sent her in. And she was greeted by Dr. Rowley bareback. And she was trapped in this whole situation. She didn't know what to do.
Yes.
No respect from this man.
None whatsoever.
House empty, no wife. So mentally she didn't know she should call security if she should. What to do? She girl felt trapped. The significant word in this whole thing was how Dr. Rowley entrapped she. And then in the present, she's trapped in that whole situation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And what is so sad, Barry Garcia, we have a lot of African people who are very educated, and there's not, you're not hearing anything from the women's group at all coming out in support of Anika Gums.
Nah, you ain't gonna get that.
You're not hearing
at all.
these so-called African conscious-minded people who like to call on radio station to hear the voice.
Yeah, but
Black man and black man this and black man that. And not one is coming in defense. And that is why we are saying, Barry, the time has come from this week onward to next week. The public must be allowed to ventilate and express their views over the reckless conduct of the bareback leader. As a matter of fact, on Facebook, there are so many pictures now with Rowley bareback, because that is what is going on about the place now, you know. The man has lost respect.
But Claudia, look at the man conduct carnival
people are losing respect for this leader of the PNM party. And your PNM people want us to bury our heads in the sand. They feel that we muster this man wants to. Here it is here. Barry, I don't think you are aspiring for public office.
No.
Gemini not aspiring for public office.
No.
I am not aspiring for public office. Rowley is the man who's aspiring for public office. And when you are aspiring for public office, your life is no longer private. Your life is no longer private. I mean to say, you don't know if Anika Gums is engaged with a young guy, with a mister, and they're about to marry or what have you. But you taking your hands as a married man and touching the girl and asking the girl about a tattoo on her back. And you saying you want to be the next prime minister? No, something has to be absolutely wrong with you.
You know what is worse about that? He's a man love to sue people. All of a sudden,
he can't sue.
It was
Craftly.
PPN.
Who is a witness statement.
In a form of a witness statement.
Stupid talk. He can't fool me with that at all. Good evening, caller.
Good evening again, Gladiator.
Yes.
No, Anita Gums was not physically raped. But look at what happened, the trauma she is facing now.
The trauma?
So she was mentally raped.
Anita Gums did. And I say that to say this. This young girl who was raped by 4 young men.
Yes.
You could imagine what she's going through now. No, Gladiator and genocide here.
Yeah.
Remember the young fellas, so when the 4th man reached, you know the 1st man ready to come back?
Yes.
Because and heavy pong in this poor little lady. So that man tell you, they don't mind if they show remorse or not, they must not be there for. Okay, we forgive you, but there are certain things you are not, you will not be free to get.
Thank you. And we want to know from Rowley, will he condone the behavior of these 4 young guys?
Gladiator
who did
Rowley went to a meeting in Bakade Sunday.
Let me clear these lines.
I will give you that one.
Good evening.
Still vote.
Right. Good evening, caller.
Good evening, Gladiator.
Yes.
Had a story some time ago about a man.
Not too much. Evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
Good job.
Thank you. Good evening, caller.
Good evening, Gladiator.
Good evening, caller.
Hello, good evening.
Right.
Yeah. That man went, you see that same vicinity where the girl was raped by Hatta Spaniard?
Yeah.
Just about 150 to 160 meters is in back of the basketball court.
Oh, and then we had the meeting.
That is where they had the meeting.
Where the piano. Oh my God!
That is where they had the meeting.
Oh yes!
And that man even
and condemn it.
And condemn the behavior.
This week they had a meeting there.
Friday, and it's just Friday to Sunday.
Yes, the PNM had a meeting there.
Not even Faris Alwari come out and condemn the actions of the people.
And at no time on the platform we already said, and people just last week Friday, a young girl was gang raped. Oh yes!
Just a stone throw from there.
Oh God!
It's a stone throw.
Oh my God! Oh, but what the hell is this? Let me go to the lines and clear the lines. Good evening, caller.
Good evening, Gladiator. I hope you have...
Good evening.
Gladiator, this man have no shame. Expose him. Expose the bareback man.
And that is his new name. I'm not calling to tell me about courthouse close.
We afraid that?
I don't tell all already.
First time.
We afraid that?
I don't tell all already. Faris Alwari cannot sue me at all, you know. The best of the attorneys cannot sue me because I am not an attorney at law, you know. But one thing I do know, lawyers cannot make up allegations and lie before a court of law. Otherwise, they could lose their license. And what I am saying is gospel truth. Rowley had sex with a teenage girl. What happened? You don't want to get that to our skull? What happened, Gemini? You don't want to get it into your skull?
It's done there already.
Okay. What happened to you, Baba?
But I expose it first.
Yeah? Rowley had sex with a teenage girl. And this man have no shame. Still offering himself to be the next prime minister of this country.
Would you like me to be your bodyguard? Would you pay me to be your bodyguard outside your bedroom?
The man don't want to be no bodyguard next to a foul cup. He don't want to be no bodyguard next to a pig pen. He don't want to be no bodyguard next to a latrine. He don't want to be no bodyguard next to a gate. But he want to be bodyguard next to
your bedroom.
Bedroom. Oh, look, let me see between you who could say it better.
Bedroom.
Bedroom. Yeah, this bareback man. This bareback leader. Where are you? Good evening, caller.
We don't want it.
Good evening, caller.
Gladys, you say the best.
Hey! Hear this here. The bareback man, he can run, but he can't hide at all. No. Hear this here. Yeah. Let me cool on the laughing here. Now, I want people, especially women, who go into the public meeting, Barry. Let me give them some advice. And I started off with the first advice. When you go to any PNM public meeting, if you're close to the stage or if you're far away, whenever the bareback man come on the stage, watch him straight in the eyes. Watch him and ask yourself, should I really vote for this man, boy? Should I really vote for this man who had sex with a teenage girl? Should I vote for this man who lies a lot? Yes, he lies a lot. He lied and said the Attorney General went up in New York, the council in New York, and make a scene of them. He also lied. He also lied and said that the Attorney General and Justice Budu Singh was in collusion to get off
Ish
and Steve Ferguson. And that is what they call contempt of court. How many people know that? He went on a platform, you know.
And we will remind the public
this bareback leader on a public platform went and make these allegations. At 1 minute he said that the president and send the letter until when he find out the letter in the office, at the office of the opposition, he had to come back and apologize to the president.
Laddie,
yeah,
I have in my hand here
a
document from the Hansard.
Yeah.
I'm handing you your copy. You used to do editorial and expose Ramjack G and Rowley for this.
Okay.
This is the Bible of the Parliament. And you will get information here that will expose those 4 gentlemen.
Okay. Well, I will go through it. I will take my time and go through it.
And we will do a separate editorial on Ramjack G and Rowley.
Okay. But let me come back to this bareback leader. This man. Look, let me play this song. Let me play the jiggle. Let me play the jiggle song for the man. Let me play the jiggle song. Yeah. Jiggling nipples. Jiggling nipples. Let me hear. Let me hear.
You know it's
Yeah, play it.
recorded by many.
Jiggling nipples. Jiggling nipples. Jiggling nipples, Rowley.
Find on your body, girl, jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle it. Show me your body, girl, jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle it. Find on your body, girl, jiggle it.
God, boy, watch it. Look at mix, boy. Oh, God.
You know it's inches. Let me tell you now. Inches on the rhythm. Rock off the rhythm.
Aye.
Recorded by many. Jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle it. Find on your body, girl, jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle it.
Yeah.
Jiggle it.
Big man like you. Big bareback leader like you. Jiggling your nipples in front of Anika gums. Yeah.
Nice by the way how you're moving. Your pretty wine make me feel like intruding. And it we don't even think about losing. Come over here.
We are macho man.
Bring it on, let me.
Macho man.
I want it.
Oh, yeah, that?
Freeze up on it.
Yeah.
Wine so much, let me tell you how me feel. Just jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle it. Find on your body, girl, jiggle it.
Jiggle it.
Jiggle it, jiggle it.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle it.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Find on your body, girl.
Jiggle.
Let me tell ya, jiggle like jello. Let me take care of you 'cause I'm a good fellow. Baby, how you whine and keeping it mellow. Look nice in your white, but better in yellow. Me is a
Yeah.
one, you is a Libra.
All right, okay. You can't find macho man. Come with it tomorrow.
What can visa?
Yeah, come with it tomorrow.
Just jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle
Yeah.
it, jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle it. Find on your body, girl, jiggle it.
Yeah. Let me clear the lines, boys. So much of people on the lines here. Good evening, caller.
Good evening, Gladiator. And
Hey, Santa Cruz.
Gladiator, you really expected Keith Rowley to address that rape situation. It probably brought back memories to the gentleman. The man don't like speaking about those things. Do you remember when they were debating the Marriage Act of 1923 in Parliament? From the time Patricia McIntosh got up to speak, the man walked out of Parliament. He cannot take these things, you understand? And to your question, I say we would not accept anything like that. You understand? I don't care how old, how long it is. We cannot accept because you do it once. You see how he did it when he was the Dean of Discipline, and he come back and he do it again. And who is to say he wasn't jiggling for Ravina too? All these things you have to look at.
But Santa Cruz, don't you think that young teenage girl who was raped last week Friday, she is scarred for life?
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. They are all. Just
let's
recently, we had this girl who stabbed the 16-year-old girl in her neck and killed her, right?
Yes.
Now, she didn't go to do it for spite because she was going to stab the boyfriend. When you hear the child's story, she's 18 years. She went and confessed to the Express. That child was raped at 15 years. She has been traumatized since. She never got the help that she needed. And look at how that young girl turned out. We don't know what is going to happen to this one. And Gladiator, you know how many children out there like that?
Yes.
And they are not going to get the help under the PNM because they throw all these things out the window. They don't care about children.
Santa Cruz.
Yeah?
Santa Cruz,
Yes,
don't
sir?
you think it would have been fit for at least Faris Alwari, who is going up for that seat?
To come out and say something. I agree with you. I
Thank you
totally
very much.
agree with you.
And that's the point I'm
stand up and
making.
talk about Dr. Rowley. Everybody know Dr. Rowley had a child. But you couldn't come out and extend sympathy to this child. Or find out, let John Public know, hey, listen, I care and I went to the family and I offered assistance to what I could do for this child. But we heard nothing. All he's interested in is winning that seat to see how many more buildings that he can get rented for his family. Thanks again.
Thank you very much. Good evening, caller.
Yeah, good day. Gladiator, I hear you all.
Good evening, caller.
Good night.
Good evening, caller.
Good evening, and you like Gladiator?
Good evening, caller.
Good night, Gladiator.
Yeah?
Good job. And to Mr. Rowley, just jiggle it.
Good evening, caller.
Hello?
All right, you ain't make up your mind again. Look, Gemini, we gotta close off this thing with the jiggly because I mean to say before you play that song, before we close, I mean, all I'm simply saying, Barry, you don't disrespect a black sister. This girl is working for the Express as an investigative reporter. Your wife is not at home. You don't know whether this girl is engaged with another man. How can you, as a black and African leader, invite a black woman, a black sister to your residence and show no respect? Well, if you could do that, then you could invite anybody and be in your underwear. You understand?
Yeah, I hear you.
But then you have your nipples erect. And you, what? Jiggle it or dribble it? Let me hear the song. Let me hear the song. Let me hear the song. Yeah, let me hear the song. For the bareback leader. And every day are coming after you. No respect for African ladies. All you want to do is just jiggle your nipples. Remain bareback. No shame. But you want to be the next prime minister. Shame on you. What? Mixing up? What the hell is this, boy? Don't to mixing and all. This song going out to the bareback leader who had Anika Gums uncomfortable at his own residence. I mean, could you imagine? His wife was not there, and I keep asking the question, and you don't want to answer my question. The public want to know if it is true that Sharon Rowley wants to divorce you. And nobody ain't gonna mama guy me with Sharon Rowley going on a platform in Tobago to talk in Tobago. I think they have that promoting right now. All because Gladiator talk about Sharon Rowley. They're promoting something where she will be going on a platform to talk in Tobago.
You see that Photoshop?
Yeah.
You see something, they're squeezing a picture of Sharon Rowley.
Anyway, we gotta go until tomorrow, 12 o'clock, we out of here.
Bring it on, let me get my point of view. Got some nice things that I wanna tell you. If you just raise up and it's standing true. Wine slow, let me tell you.